I realize the only thing viewers want right now, as most of us act like responsible citizens and stay at home, is recommendations for films online. As our daily dose of consumption gets restricted to Hindi movies, here's me trying my best in including some of the best work from or based in each state of the country so that we can understand and appreciate the diversity we possess and not constantly look to the West for cinema to inspire and impact us. Getting right into it in alphabetical order, here is Tried and Refused Productions with 29 states, 29 mind-blowing Indian movies. Don't think, watch them now. Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. First, Care of Kacharapalam. I have to start off with the most earnest and pure romantic films that I have seen in a long time. The last romantic film that left a lasting impact on me was the Marathi film Sairat. And I have to say, without a shadow of a doubt, Maha Venkatesh's Care of Kacharapalam has done the same. A film based in the village of Kacharapalam focuses on several relationships that sheds light on several social issues without coming across as overbearing or taking too much on the plate. Most of the lead actors in the film are not trained whatsoever and put forth such convincing performances. The background score and the simplistic cinematography magnify the sense of realism in the story. From a romance brewing between two school children, a 50-year-old unmarried man having nothing but love for a widow, and a man who falls head over heels by just looking at the girl's eyes. The film may come across as having the same template as He's Just Not That Into You or Love Actually, but is so much more than any other generic romantic film. A film that effortlessly sheds light on issues such as the caste system, second marriages, and just the taboo treatment of anything related to love in India. It will definitely leave a smile on your face for its purity and sense of sadness for its realism. You can catch this film on Netflix. The other Telugu film that I want to talk about is Agent Sai Srinivas Atreya. I would recommend this film, starring Naveen Polishetty in the lead role. Genuinely funny, performed brilliantly, and our own quirky rendition of Sherlock Holmes or a more lively Byomkesh Bakshi. Crime thrillers are an extremely celebrated genre in India, and Agent Sai gets the tone of the film exactly right, generating intrigue and interest as the plot thickens. We follow Atreya as he uncovers the death of a man found on railway tracks. Watch this on Amazon Prime and I assure you, you won't be disappointed. Arunachal Pradesh. I came across a film titled Crossing Bridges from the state of Arunachal Pradesh in the Shertukpin dialect native of the state. Crossing Bridges focuses on a web designer working in Mumbai who, through a series of unforeseen circumstances, finds himself back in his native land and parents' home in Arunachal Pradesh after 8 years. The protagonist Tashi, played by Funshu Krime, is desperate to know when he can go back to the city as he dreads the lifestyle of the farmer, the constant nagging of the parents urging him to stay and help out, and the lack of activity and enterprise the entire population possesses. Is this Arunachal Pradesh Swadesh, or presents us India that we can't even recognize, where creators tend to try and find every trick under their kitty to provide us basically everything under the sky, from long speeches, music and dance, action sequences, dramatic twists and turns? Crossing Bridges says much more than is actually orally presented. In its stillness and the inner battle of the protagonist, we understand and empathize with the arc he goes through. A film on self-discovery and the contrast of individualism and community, especially in this day and age, that will make you introspect on what is truly important to you as we run around with horse blinders on. The film can be viewed on Amazon Prime. ASSAM, a film shot, edited, produced and directed by a self-taught filmmaker, can cause so many waves across the country, is iconic in every shape and form. Reema Das's film Village Rockstars, a film which is a representation of dreams, manifestation and succumbing to reality all in one. A story about Dhunu, a caring and dreamy-eyed girl that assists her widowed mother in selling snacks and dreams of owning a guitar and having her own rock band. This sweet and pure film has beautiful performances by child actors and possesses some of the most visually pleasing cinematic shots. The kids rolling around the murky water or playing on their make-believe styrofoam instruments is just a glimpse of the film's simplicity and overall impact. A must-watch film from Assam that will make you appreciate what you have, one another. The film can be viewed on Netflix. Bihar. When it came to the state of Bihar, I really wanted to focus on a film that authentically portrays characters from the heartland of the state, and one such film that totally went under the radar was a 2010 Sushil Rajpal directed film Antardwand, starring Raj Singh Chaudhary in the lead role. The film focuses on the rampant yet barely talked about case of groom kidnapping. The film showcases the story of Raghuveer, a man of civil services in a steady relationship who goes back to his hometown in Bihar to convince his father so that he can marry her. In need of wanting a heavy dowry dowry for the eligible bachelor and son, the father disapproves of the relationship. How the denial of another suitor leads to the case of groom abduction, and physical and emotional torture of a man to wed a girl forcibly leads to an extremely gripping and disturbing movie viewing experience. As Avijit Ghosh in his book 40 Retakes rightly pointed out, this film is more regional and authentic than most Bhojpuri films. I would highly recommend the film for its authentic portrayal of the state, people, and bringing in the forefront an issue barely spoken about. It is available on Amazon Prime. Chhattisgarh. I went through innumerable films from Chhattisgarh that did great business or were popular in the state, but most of the films suffered from the same problems of most regional films: off-putting sync-in sound, over-the-top characters, and sleazy treatment of romance. A film, however, based in Chhattisgarh that you will find really enjoyable and interesting is the Malayalam film Unda, directed by Khalid Rahman. The film, starring Mammootty in the lead role, is based on the real story from 2014 when a police unit from Kerala was sent to a Maoist-affected area in Chhattisgarh to ensure safety during the time of voting, but with insufficient ammunition. How the police unit assimilates, prepares, and executes the mission is the premise of the film. Its dark and morbid humor is its strongest quality, and with most of the film shot in real locations and the fact that it is based on a real-life event, it will surely lead to a very intriguing movie viewing experience. Let me know what you thought. It can be viewed on Amazon Prime. Goa. If you have any Konkani language films, please do recommend it in the comment section below. But a film that really portrayed the state and the characters originating from Goa with beautiful authenticity was the 1985 film Trikal, starring Nasruddin Shah, Soni Razdan, and Neena Gupta. A film directed by Shyam Benegal and set in the 60s when the colonial rule of the Portuguese was at its last stage. The film focuses on a Christian family in Goa dealing with the loss of a loved one, just days before the daughter of the family is being forced to get married. The film, through the premise, focuses on the facets of loss, love, and the realm beyond just the living. A film with legendary actors and themes barely focused upon now. I would highly recommend you catch this film for free on YouTube. Gujarat. A Gujarati film that I want to apologize I didn't cover when I saw it was the path-breaking film Hillaro, a film set in 1975 in the run of Kutch, focusing on a group of women who are subjected to the shackles of patriarchy in their respective marriages, and how one fine day, as they collectively do the daily chore of getting water from a source far away, they meet a man who is a symbol for their freedom. The film and its messaging is not preachy at all, and is so effective. It showcases the double standard of men praying to goddesses but keeping their wives bound by regressive customs. The film is technically a visual treat, a celebration of music and choreography that is so specific to the rich state of Gujarat. Debutant Abhishek Shah will truly mesmerize you with his filmmaking, and a movie that will hopefully soon appear on digital platforms because it is really a true representation of the culture of the state. Haryana. A film that many people don't know about is the Pankaj Tripathi starrer Gurgaon, a film that focuses on a daughter getting kidnapped and what follows in the form of ransom, conspiracies, loyalties getting tested, and entering the badlands of the state where everyone wants a piece of the pie of the real estate tycoon. The film is unapologetically real with gruesome action and dialogues. The dialect performed perfectly by lead actors and honestly is a gripping thriller that I am shocked was so underappreciated when it released. Definitely one of Pankaj Tripathi's best performances. I grew respect for Akshay Oberoi as a performer after this film, and a movie that in its truest sense is dark, gritty, and fast-paced. Elements ideal for engaging thrillers that you can watch on Netflix. Himachal Pradesh. A film that was extremely underappreciated in the early 2000s was the Pooja Bhatt directed film Paap, a film that in its second half is primarily shot in the Spiti Valley, a movie that many consider to be dated in its treatment and pitch but successfully shed light on several social aspects of human behavior. The film, which revolves around a religious woman raised to believe that God is the ultimate truth who is assigned to get the supposed reincarnation of a religious figure to Spiti, the child finds himself being witness to a murder and gets rescued and transported to Spiti, protected at all costs by a police officer. The film transitions to the philosophical, focusing on the concept of virtues of religious teachings, abstinence, and the contrast of characters as a non-believer enters her life. The film is beautifully shot, capturing the scenic location of Himachal Pradesh, and possesses one of the best soundtracks of the early 2000s. Remember Garaj Baras and Man Ki Lagan? Other than the hit or miss performances, the overall impact of the film is undeniable. You can watch the movie on Z5. Jammu and Kashmir. I know everyone has seen Haider, and I had already spoken highly of the criminally underrated Hamid. But when I thought about my state, Jammu and Kashmir, a film that I highly recommend you watch is the Shujit Sarkar directed film Yahan, starring Jimmy Shergill and Manisha Lamba. The film focuses on a love story that blossoms in a war-torn and conflicted land, a land inundated with militancy and radical thoughts. How the relationships perseveres despite the backlash, familial issues and hostile relationship between the locals and the army. And moreover, a sense of people losing grasp of humanity is the premise of Yahan. Some beautiful cinematography, capturing the essence of Kashmir, soul-touching music, infectious chemistry between Shergill and Lamba, and the treatment of a story that never becomes over the top or venturing into fantasy. Believable, real, and authentic. You can watch this film on YouTube. Jharkhand. When I was researching Nagpuri or Sadri language films, a language used in the state of Jharkhand, I experienced a sense of disappointment with the lack of innovation in the production as well as storytelling standpoint. Please write your recommendations down below if you have any. One of the main reasons a lot of movies now are not being shot in the state is due to the mandate passed by the state government charging exorbitant prices for film shooting. The films that really stand out for me that are based in Jharkhand include Gangs of Wasipur, which focuses on the coal mafia and feuds between warring families that persist for multiple generations, and the Konkana Sen Sharma directed film A Death in the Gunj. In a small hilly town of Makluski Ganj, both films, beyond their premise, are visually spectacular. You can watch Gangs of Wasipur on YouTube and A Death in the Gunj on Amazon Prime. Karnataka. The most surprising movie experience for me was when I saw the Kannada film Diya on Amazon Prime. A film that comes across as a generic love story has a sense of madness and intensity that all viewers want, especially fans of this genre. Where we mostly see men ogle at women, chasing them for their attention, the narrative is completely led by the female character in this film. Her obsession with the man and how it persists for several years ahead. The film and how it goes from a 0 to 1000 and still is believable every step of the way is its best quality. It's effortlessly funny, even in the most morbid sense, and it's definitely an extremely offbeat romantic genre experience. I bet you can't predict how the story progresses. I had my jaw dropping in several instances. You can watch the film on Amazon Prime. Kerala. As I have recommended possibly everything under the sky in Malayalam cinema, I wanted to recommend the 2014 Anjali Menon directed film Bangalore Days. In 2014, a film that became the highest grossing Malayalam film. A movie about three cousins who aspire to shift to Bangalore, a city Keralites consider to be the city of dreams. A city that has a sense of comfort as it is close to home, but possesses a sense of freedom as well from the traditional familial roots of Kerala. Beautiful coming of age story that connected with audiences as it is grounded in reality as well as aspirational. A film you should definitely catch on Hotstar. Madhya Pradesh. A film shot in the Hardar district of Madhya Pradesh that will be eye-opening with its vision and make your stomach churn due to its uncomfortable premise is the 2003 film Matrubhumi. A film focusing on a dystopian world where due to familial infanticide, a village consists of mainly men and women are considered to be an absolute rarity. The film focuses on the case of fraternal polyandry where women are married off to several men, mainly brothers, in exchange for a price. The film is disturbing, thought-provoking and one of its kind. It will make your blood boil and even make you think about the inevitable possibility of this becoming the norm in rural areas. A chilling performance by Tulip Joshi and such compelling writing by Manish Jha. A film you should definitely watch on Z5. Maharashtra. As everyone has seen Sairat and I could not find any links of court to be seen online, I wanted to recommend Nagraj Manjule's second directorial venture, which was the 2013 Fandry, a path-breaking film on caste oppression that still persists in several places all across India, focusing on a love story of a 13-year-old boy, one-sided in many ways for an upper caste girl in a village segregated on the basis of caste. The real and ugly nature of society, the symbolism in the kids wanting to strike down the Black Sparrow, and the ultimate tipping point as a sense of revolt to the oppressive and regressive structure that has thrived for centuries is the storyline of Fandry. We live in this illusion that the caste system has been abolished and does not function anymore. The film is a reminder of the privilege we have to live beyond these oppressive ways and how many are still victim of such ghastly and inhumane ways of living. Manipur. From the state of Manipur, I really wanted to bring into context the arduous journey that the state has had in producing films by mentioning its first heart-touching feature film that released in 1972 titled Matamgi Manipur or Contemporary Manipur that is available on YouTube. A film that focuses on the common man and the daily struggle of making ends meet while at the same time mending familial ties and understanding that nothing can be more pure and unfazed than the relationships we develop and nurture. The film, directed by Devkumar Bose and performed beautifully by the star cast, was a representation of what 70s Hindi cinema was popular for, the hurdles of the common people. I would highly recommend you watch this film on YouTube. Beyond that, I would also recommend you catch this documentary on the Battle of Imphal on the channel History Dust, as it provides a lot of context to the history of the state we know so little of. Meghalaya, a film way ahead of its time that you will find on the obscure website Daily Motion, is the 1986 movie Ek Pal starring Nasruddin Shah, Farooq Sheikh and Shabana Azmi that is set in the state of Meghalaya. Directed by Kalpana Lajmi, the film focuses on the woman's desire to love and be loved. It never portrayed the female character as a damsel in distress, but showcases her as human, having desires, wants, and needs beyond the confines of a loveless marriage. The film was important at a time where Hindi cinema was inundated with the regressive cinema, a film I would highly recommend you watch, specifically in context to the time it was set in. These veteran actors of so-called parallel cinema were game changers in every way. Mizoram. A lot of people recommend me to watch the 2005 KK Menon film Danch, which is set in Mizoram, but it's a sloppy remake of Roman Polanski's Death and the Maiden, and provided for a whitewashed portrayal of the situation in the state post the bloody Mizo insurgency that took place due to the apathy shown by the Indian government as the state suffered from a famine, also known as Mautam, something the state experiences every 40 or 50 years, and the violence enforced against its own people. The only time India did airstrikes on its own people was in the state of Mizoram. I would highly recommend you watch the brilliant piece by Shekhar Gupta on the Print YouTube channel on the importance of Mizoram, its facts, and most importantly, its painful history as a state. It saddens me how little we know about the Seven Sisters, and this piece will present to you the resilient nature of the Mizo people. If you have some films to recommend from the state, please do. Nagaland. I would highly recommend you watch the Gopal Menon directed documentary Naga Story, The Other Side of Silence, that primarily focuses on the long Indian battle of insurgency pertaining to the state. The film is a gripping tale that introduces us to the population of the state, its origins and rich history, and documents the human rights abuses suffered by the people of the state for more than 50 years, since it became a part of independent India. The several individual accounts will move and disturb you, providing you context to the lifestyle and treatment of the state, opening your eyes to the history of our nation that we are barely taught about. The documentary is available on YouTube. Odisha. The inspiring and sad story of Budhya Singh crushed me. The film starring Manoj Bajpayee and Mayur Patole playing the role of real people Biranchi Das and Budhya Singh respectively focuses on the young sensation, the youngest marathon runner in the world. The film sheds light on human greed, the bureaucratic and corrupt nature of anything state-driven, a relationship questioned as exploitation, and the sad reality of what could have been for a boy with an inexplainable ability. You can watch this truly tragic but powerful film on Netflix. Punjab. A gripping tale focusing on the troubling history of the rich state of Punjab is the 2014 film Punjab 1984, directed by Anurag Singh, a film on a mother's consistent pursuit to find a missing child who has been wrongfully labelled as a terrorist. The film digs deep to the horrifying events that took place in Punjab in the 1980s, from mistrust within the local population, oppressive measures by the government leading to thousands of casualties. Punjab was in constant turmoil. The film showcases the layers upon layers that unfold within a fictional tale of a loving relationship between a mother and a son, packed with powerful performances by Kiran Kher and Diljit Dosanjh, a goosebump-generating album, and a tale that needed to be told in the commercial space. Punjab 1984 is a must-watch on Netflix. Rajasthan. This unknown film from Rajasthan, directed by Seema Kapoor, focuses on the regressive practice of Nath Prat, in which a woman wants to leave a man, she can do so by paying a price as decided by the husband and enforced by the panchayat. If said payment cannot be made, then the women are punished by their face being blackened, hair getting cut, and paraded around the village naked. On the flip side, if the men cheat and want to leave the wives, they are not answerable to anyone. The film aims to inform and tell a tale revolving around the regressive practice and how it haunts and overwhelms the life of Sanja, played by Divya Datta. A movie that will open your eyes, shock, and truly impact you, that you can watch on Hotstar. Sikkim. A film that was banned in India when Sikkim became a part of the Indian Union was the 1971 documentary titled Sikkim, directed by Satyajit Ray. The film was commissioned by the King of Sikkim at the time when Sikkim, then an independent nation, sovereignty was supposedly under threat by India and China. The documentary shows the rich culture and history of the once nation, the landscape of the state, the celebration of festivals, the existence of education being more or less free, the benevolence of the monarch despite issues of poverty. The film is another reminder just of the diversity our country possesses and aspects of our own history we know so little of. Tamil Nadu. A power-packed action thriller from Tamil Nadu was Kaithi, a film that left me glued to my computer screen, an ex-prisoner being promised a reunion with his daughter in exchange for helping out police officers. And in that journey, coming across several gangs, not knowing the complexity of the drug racket and the sheer influence of the drug lords, just having one goal in mind, annihilating everything in his way, is the premise of Kaithi. It is a gory commercial thriller at its finest. Simple yet effective storytelling incorporated with great performances. I'm already ready for a sequel. Are you? You can watch the film on Hotstar. Tripura. Please, if you could recommend me any films from Tripura. Upon my research, I could only come across documentaries on the Tripura kingdom, but could not find any high production documentaries. Your help would be really appreciated. Uttar Pradesh. I would highly recommend a film from Uttar Pradesh that absolutely changed the game in telling stories from the state. It's the Tikmanshu Dhulia directed film Hasil starring Irfan Khan, Jimmy Shergill and Ashutosh Rana. A chilling tale on college politics in the University of Allahabad and the anarchy within the state when it comes to crime and law. The mistrust among friends and every individual hungry and lustful for power. There's a reason why Hasil has created such a cult following. Iconic performances, memorable dialogues and characters rooted in reality. So specific to the state that the experience of watching the film will make you realize how these actors and creators have paved the way for real cinema today, something that has become the norm today. The movie is available on YouTube. Uttarakhand. A relatively unknown film starring Victor Banerjee and Gitanjali Thapa is the film titled Dev Bhumi, The Land of the Gods, which is available on Amazon Prime. A tale of a man revisiting his childhood village in Uttarakhand after spending several years abroad, only to know that some things never change. The history of the village, the regressive practices that still persist, the reason for resentment among the villagers on his return, and the same battles we face today, even after years of evolution and education, is the premise of Dev Bhumi. I wanted to be as vague with my description as the movie develops like peeling an onion and will account for a very immersive viewing experience. Highly recommend for its authentic portrayal of the state and relevant storytelling. West Bengal. If it has to be anything from West Bengal that I will recommend, it has to be from Satyajit Ray. And there is nothing better than being introduced to Bengali cinema than by starting with the Apu trilogy directed by Ray. Based on two Bengali novels by Bibhuti Bhushan Bandyopadhyay, the film chronicles the life of Apu from a young age. Belonging to an upper caste yet poor Bengali family, the film follows the hardships faced by the family to make ends meet, dealing with loss both financially and of loved ones, making your own place in the world, and the consecutive times life throws curveballs at you, compelling you to persevere and power along. The films pave the way for coming-of-age stories, something that has become so common in Indian films now. A perfect introduction to Bengali cinema that can be viewed on YouTube. And that was the video, guys. Write it down in the comments below what you thought about the movies and whether you have any recommendations. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.